Hey, it's Kappy, and this is Beyond the Plate, Heard, the audio newsletter where I share what's on my plate, literally and figuratively. From culinary insights to restaurants and recipes, it's everything I'm seeing, tasting, and talking about in just a few minutes. This isn't a peer-reviewed culinary journal, it's just my take on what I'm into at the moment. So let's dive in, and I hope you all take something from my plate. Before we get going, yes, I do have a little bit of a cold, and funny enough, the Manuka honey that we spoke about in last week's episode, a fresh batch just arrived today. With that said, first up is Siti Restaurant in Austin, Texas, spelled S-I-T-I. Siti is a Southeast Asian restaurant, and I first heard of this through a friend's newsletter called Checkmark Eats, which I previously mentioned on this podcast, and Siti looked insanely good. I remember making note of it in my phone, and I haven't stopped thinking about it every time I open that note on my phone. So it's this chef named Layla Bazam, and she has a restaurant already in Austin called El Raval, which is Spanish, but this one's more focused on Southeast Asian cuisine. Chef Layla was born and raised in the Philippines and had a career in finance, working with some big banks, but then she totally had a career change and wound up cooking in Spain, in Singapore. She worked for some world famous chefs, and then she came back to the States. The menu here looks so good. To be honest, I started to see which menu items I was going to shout out that looked good, and my mouth was watering so much, so I closed out the page on my computer. But they have everything from laksa to noodles, wings, salads, small plates, large plates, satays. It looks so good. I'm actually going to Austin in October, and I plan to go. The next thing we're going to talk about is wild blueberries. Yes, wild blueberries. Maybe random. Hear me out. A friend shared this with me recently, and it kind of blew my mind. So wild blueberries are wild. They're not planted. I'm a genius, I know. So here's the thing about wild blueberries. So there's a Wild Blueberry Association of North America, and they say if you're comparing wild blueberries to the regular conventional type, check this out. Wild blueberries have 2 times the antioxidants of regular blueberries. They have 72% more fiber, which is like a wild number, and they're quite often found in the frozen section of a grocery store. There are a lot of other health benefits to them, but I'm just sharing a couple of them here. Here's the thing, 8 out of 10 Americans really don't eat the recommended daily amount of fruit. So as people are taking more to frozen fruits and vegetables, and since these have a higher nutrient density and fiber content, hello GLP-1 users, they seem to be a more easy and convenient way to incorporate more fruit into your life. That could be in smoothies, muffins, pancakes, really any way you eat normal blueberries. So wild blueberries kind of blew my mind. Next is a recipe that I'm calling my ChatGPT Granola. I have been on a mission to make a delicious granola that mimics one that I used to make when I worked at the Four Seasons Hotel, Los Angeles at Beverly Hills, and I haven't been able to do it. I've tried easily over 10 recipes, which is not that many. I do love store-bought granola when it's a good quality one. I mentioned that company, Nana Joe's, on the podcast a couple episodes ago. I'm a big fan of Purely Elizabeth. But for me, granola is like barbecue sauce. Everybody likes a different one for a different reason because there are these little nuances. So that one of the Four Seasons that I mentioned, I had this pastry chef that I worked with there named Donald Russell. He was incredibly talented. He was the coach of Team USA's pastry team that won a gold medal. A lot of impressive stuff. Crazy talented guy. So I prompted ChatGPT to kick out a granola that was what I wanted. Not super sweet. I wanted a little sticky, a little bit chewy so I could snack on it. I didn't want crumbly granola that I could pour on yogurt. Yes, there's a time and a place for that. Again, my personal preference. So the kids and I wound up taking this base recipe that we got and making a blueberry lemon version. Blueberries again. Wow. And we also did a cranberry almond version. They're both really good. So I'll put the general recipe in the show notes so you can see it, but it's really easy. And yeah, that's my ChatGPT granola, as I'm calling it. Next, it's National Fruits and Veggies Month, everyone. This month, September, National Fruits and Veggies Month came to us from the Foundation for Fresh Produce, which is an organization that strives to grow a healthier world by changing the trajectory of human health. They are champions of believing fruits and vegetables are the answer, and they're trying to remove barriers that are preventing people from eating them. I like this. I attended one of their events this past year and was really blown away by what they are up to. A lot of incredible work going on in that room. Well, outside of that room, but that was talked about in that room. So really quick, think of it really simple. Every time you eat, have a plant, especially if you're a parent encouraging kids. This is something I personally do with my kids. Most meals, I would love them to have a fruit and a vegetable, but if they have one or the other, that's good. It really encourages fun and easy ways to include more fruits and vegetables in meals, snack time, whatever it may be. I will put this in the show notes also, but you could go to fruitsandveggies.org. They have tons and tons of great info on fruits and vegetables, including seasonality, how to store them, how to cook them. There's incredibly delicious looking recipes on that website as well. I've actually made some of them, and there are things for professionals and home cooks on that website. So happy National Fruits and Veggies Month. Next is Family Style Food Festival. Family Style Food Festival by Complex is a family-oriented food festival that a friend in New York recently shared with me. It seems like it mixes food and fashion and music, really. And the cool thing for me is they connect some of these really cool fashion brands with different restaurants. And then they create these limited, one-of-a-kind collab food and merch items that are only available at the event. I saw a bunch of buzz on social media this past May when they had one in New York City, but there's an upcoming one in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles State Historic Park on Saturday, September 13th. There is a kids area, a full music lineup. It's an all-day event, I think 12 to 8, if I remember correctly. The food lineup actually looks really good. They have Howlin' Ray's, John and Vinny's, Bell's restaurant from Los Alamos is coming. I would go just for that. I mean, I would go for all those. But anyhow, check it out. Family Style Food Festival. One last thing before I leave you, the best buttered noodles ever. So many of my friends' kids love to eat my buttered noodles when I make them, and they're really, as I like to say, just buttered noodles. So at the end of this, I'm going to leave you with 3 tips you've probably heard before that will give you the best buttered noodles ever. I will say we have another podcast called Clean Plate Club, and we did the best buttered noodles ever on there, so you can listen to me and my twins discuss step by step how to make these. I happened to be making them the other night when we had some friends and their kids over for dinner, and their 12-year-old daughter was literally sitting in the kitchen next to me as I was cooking, taking notes on her phone. It was the cutest thing ever, and she titled the note Andrew's Bomb Buttered Noodles, but she actually had really good notes that she took. So the 3 main tips are: 1, season your pasta water. At least 1 heavy tablespoon to a big pot of water. Probably more, but you want the salt to help bring out the flavor of the actual pasta. So start with a big tablespoon. Next, you've heard this 9,000 times, but save some of the pasta water, at least a half to 1 cup. Before you strain your pasta, ladle some of that water out, put it in a mug or a bowl. This is going to help loosen the pasta as you cook it. If it feels like it's getting tight or dried out, you add a little bit of that pasta water. And 3, when you mix in the butter, put the pan on low heat and mix it gently for about a minute. You could shake the pan gently as well. You could do this for up to 2 minutes. This is going to really let the butter and water emulsify together and glaze over the pasta and make it have this really nice sheen. 1 minute may feel like a while, but trust me, it will be worth it. Thanks for listening to Heard, a production of Beyond the Plate. You can find all the links and handles I mentioned in the show notes. If you like this, then tap the follow button and tune in for more Heard, where I share what I'm seeing, tasting, and loving lately in food and hospitality. And if your friends and family may enjoy it, I hope you'll share it with them. Until next time.